everyone and welcome. So today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this picnic table. This is the picnic table, or I like to call the over-the-top envelope that I made for the mini Doodlebug collaboration that I did with Mellis Makes last month. It was super fun, and this was part of that collaboration, and many of you really enjoyed it and asked for me to do a tutorial for this one, and I am proud to say that I have gone back and measured everything so that I could do that for you, because I have this really bad habit of just crafting, and I'm going to try and make more of a conscious effort to write down measurements and things like that so that I can bring you tutorials and things. So it won't take me so long next time. So anyway, I have the measurements now and I want to share them with you so that you can make your own over-the-top envelope / picnic table. Okay, so the pieces that you're going to need. So these are not optional, but in a way optional. You can use substitute for different things. These are just wooden beads. Now, I'm actually running low, so I have this one which will fit perfectly, but these two are just completely random. I just wanted to show you what I'm using them for. The first one is here for the bottom of my umbrella, and then the other two are just for stability on the table legs, just because like the more you embellish it, the more wobbly it will get, unbalanced, because this is just card at the end of the day, and so I just need that sort of stability to help stand it. But if there's something else that you can use, that's great. Like I say, I'm not going to run out and buy any more. They are really inexpensive. I got these from I think The Works or Hobbycraft. I think they were like £1 or £1.50 for a massive bag, and they come in all different varieties. But these are literally like the last three that I have in this particular medium size. So I'm not going to run out and get some more just for tutorial. I'm going to make do with these ones. And like I said, this one worked out pretty well because I've decided to do a green table anyway. You're also going to need a straw. This is just a paper straw that I got from, I think, the pound shop in a massive pack of 100 or something. And then I have my card. So I've decided to do my tablecloth in this red gingham. And the size of this is 3.5 by 3.5, and you really don't have to do anything with it unless you want to add some stitching or anything like that, and do that first. The umbrella is a piece of card that is 6 by 6, and I'm going to show you how to fold that, but for now I've just done a score at 3 and then turned it and score at 3. That'll just help later on. I would say just go with plain one today because I think it's easier to show you when it's plain rather than the patterned. But you know, this is all, you can make whatever you like. The table itself, I have these two pieces. I call these the table support. So these measure a 4-inch in length and 3/4 in depth. And you don't need anything with these, just keep them as is. Then the actual table legs, again, you're going to need two pieces, two strips. And these measure 11.5 inches by 1 inch. And then what you're going to need to do is score at 3, 5.5, 8.5, and 11, and do that for both pieces. And then the actual table itself, so this is a piece that measures 7.5 by 4 7/8. And then on the 7.5 side, you want to score it at 3 1/4, 3.5, then at 6 3/4, and then at 7. And that's it for scoring and cutting. So now we're going to assemble it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just burnish all the score lines so that they are really, really crisp. And I am using a heavier weight cardstock. I love using this cardstock. I get it from Lidl, and it's only when it's in the middle aisle that it's, you know, there. So I do completely and utterly bulk buy. I'm not gonna lie, I've got so much of the stuff now, but every time it comes back I'm like, oh, just in case, because I really love it. And I think it's 270 GSM, so it's really, really strong, but still, you know, I like to keep things with the beads for stability. It's a little 3D trick. Especially when you're embellishing, you know, the weight distribution and all, it helps. So I'm making sure all them lines are nice and crisp. And that's it for the table. So let's put the table together first. So here on the, you'll have a 1/2 inch strip here. That's where you want to apply your glue. Now, I totally recommend using wet glue, or if you've got tape, use that. But because I'm doing a quick tutorial, I'm going to just go in with hot glue. And then I just put it down like so. Rub away them little glue bits, and there, just going back over my crease lines, we have made our little table with that slot to pop in our invitation card, or any card, you know, whatever you like to put in there. This is why I don't like using glue, it gets all over my fingers. Anyway, right, so that's that one done. Let's put the legs together. So again, what I'm doing is I'm just popping some glue on this 1/2 inch bit here, like so, and then I am just attaching like that. And the next one. Okay, so there are table legs all put together, and now we need to stick them onto our tabletop. So I like to, wherever I have put things together, use that as my bottom and the back. So bottom and the back. So I'm going to leave that on this side. Now, what I need to do is get a ruler and measure this now so that it will fit perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push it down like so, so that I can get those measurements nice. I'm going to use a pen. I would use a pencil, but because I'm doing this on a camera, I'm going to use a pen. So I'm just literally marking 0 to 1/2 inch there. And I'll go with this side, line up on the 1/2 inch, and then mark that at the 0. Flip it around, push that so that lies flat. Go from 0 to 1/2, and this side 1/2 to 0. And that's where we want to line. So let's work with the principle of this stick line here on the back. So I want to make sure that my line where I've stuck here is also going to the back. I just think it makes for a neater look. And we want to line that up there. Make sure they are different sizes, I should have mentioned that. So one side is going to be 3 inches and one side is going to be about 2.5 inches. So make sure that you're lining up 3-inch side. You will be able to tell holding it, but I don't know if that's being picked up on camera. But also you'll know that it's the bit there. So just want to eyeball it as well. Again, totally recommending using tape and wet glue for this, because you want to try and get it straight as possible. If you're not comfortable eyeballing, draw the line and use that as a guide. but I don't want to take too much of your time. So I'm being a rebel. Okay. So there we have our table looking cool so far. Just move it up. Like so. And look, it does perfectly stand perfectly fine. I just prefer to add the weight, like I said, for when you start embellishing and if the weight starts moving around. So again, optional. So I'm going to attach these. These go here at the front and the back. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to each side. I did use some gemmies to look like, what they called, nuts, bolts, I don't know. Whatever you use to put wood together, I guess. So one at the front, one at the back. Like so. And again, all the glue strings are totally optional, right? So there we are, looking great. Now I'm going to add my beads, just because, like I say, I just want some stability. So what I'm going to do is add glue here, and then just glue to the side. Like so. This I would recommend hot glue for, because I don't think wet glue is going to stick these wooden beads. And again, some to the bottom, some to the side. And stick that into place, like so. So now it's all starting to come together slowly. Let's move on to the umbrella. So we made some marks earlier using a 6x6 piece of card at 3 inches, then turning it and at 3 inches again. So I'm just going to fold on those lines now. I'm not going to burnish them because I am not trying to make them a stiff line, if that makes sense. I don't know. So then once I've done that, I'm now going to fold it on the diagonal, so point to point, like that. Open it out and then go point to point again this way. Like so. Then with my ruler and pen, and again I'm going to use pen so that you can see, I'm just going to put a little dot in the center, and I'm going to put my ruler on that, the 0 onto the dot, and then on the diagonal lines I'm going to mark 3 inches. You don't need to do it on the straight lines because that is 3 inches, but if you were using a pattern paper I probably would, just because sometimes you can like lose sight of it. So I'm just marking 3 inches on those diagonals. Like so. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my big scissors and I'm going to fold it on the diagonal. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from that point that I just made straight until this point. Now if you don't feel comfortable, you can use your ruler and draw a line from point to point, but you know, I'm a rebel. So we just cut like that, and then I'm going to open it up and then fold it again on the diagonal and cut my next one. So I'm cutting from that to that, like so. Open it up, fold from the point to the dot we made, open it up and cut the last one. Okay. So now we're left with this shape. I think think it's an octagon. I'm terrible at this. Anyway, what you need to do now is remove one of the segments. So I'm just going to take my little scissors for this. So we're just removing one segment out. And then the segment next to it, we're going to turn into a tab. To do that, we want to cut a little triangle out of it. So keeping that straight, we are just taking a triangle away, and that's created us a lovely tab. Then to get this sort of decoration here, all we do then is we fold our segments over and we just cut a little triangle away like so, and then we just do that to all the sides like that. If you want to add any stitching detail to do it, it's best to do it after this section, because the next section we are going to be gluing it and it's harder to do it then. So when it comes to doing this one with the tab, just fold it to the tab line and you just make sure that you're holding it where it needs to be, because when you stick it together it will look seamless like so. So if you wanted to add any lines, now's the best time to do it. I'm just going to do it on one side just to show you, but all I do is take a pen and just go down with some stitch effect, or unless you're super talented on a sewing machine then please do that. So all you're going to do is glue that down here, and because we've tabbed it together we know exactly where it needs to line up. You could add a pom-pom to the top of that if you want to, like I did on my other one, or whatever you like. But that's basically the umbrella made. Now we need to put it all together. So we take our straw and we want to cut it about 5 inches. I've just made a little mark so that I know where I'm cutting. So that's about 5 inches tall there. I'm going to take my bead and I'm going to squish the end of my straw just so that it has something to grip into. I'm going to apply a lot of hot glue in there. And I want to stick that in like so. Easy peasy, right? Okay, here's the more difficult part, and a part that will take a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some people will apply glue here, some people apply glue here, but I'm going to apply it into there, and then I'm going to hold it over and keep hold here. And you need to hold it, because if it sets wrong, there's no way of shifting it. So here is the part where you think about things and life and what's been happening. Is anyone else enjoying summer holidays? Anyone worried about the heat wave coming back? The thoughts that run through your mind at this moment in time. Okay, should be done by now. Nope, it sure isn't. We're going to keep holding it. Give it a little pinch. And turn it over, in fact, and I'm going to apply a bit more glue. I think this is probably the most difficult part in this tutorial. Because they're just not shapes that are meant to be together. And I've actually got myself a little drip going on as well. I'll try and remove that. Again, I don't think wet glue cut it here. See how it just wobbles? It really, really does take its time. Okay, so now the hot glue has finally cooled down, our umbrella is made. So before we stick it on there, we need to attach our tablecloth. So let me just get rid of all these little bits laying around. So we can get rid of our ruler now. Okay, for this, there's no scoring or anything included. All you gotta do is attach it by eyeballing the center here. And then all I do is just pinch the corners. Like that. For this, I am going to use wet glue because I do not want the bulkiness of the hot glue to interfere with placing the umbrella. So I'm just applying glue up until those pinch marks. And then I'm just going to lay it back down. And there is our tablecloth added to the table. I really love using these gingham colours because I just think they're so cute. Okay, so I'm just going to apply some hot glue to the bottom of the bead and place that in the centre. I'm putting my finger underneath to apply pressure. I'm just going to tilt it so that you can see that, but not too much because I don't want the hot glue to dribble. Okay, so there it is, the picnic table. Now, if you want to make an invitation or card to go inside, you're going to need a piece that is 4.5 by 6 and then scored at 3. So I'm going to just burnish that. And then that card fits perfectly into the little slot in our table. And there is our completed picnic table, ready for embellishments and whatever. Invite people over for another picnic. Or a party. I always have barbecues for my birthday party. And yeah, super cool fun. Hope you make this. If you do, please tag me because I want to see. I really want to see everyone make. So yeah, enjoy, take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye.